arrival of our 2010 lineup with amazing offers. Like up to $8,000 in price adjustments on selected 2010 models with our latest technology, quality, and design. So hurry into your Ford store. Your 2010 is right here, right now.
Do you have questions about investing?
How can I eliminate the risk in my portfolio?
When it comes to investing, there is no way to completely eliminate risk, because without risk, there is no return. The key is to determine what level of risk you're comfortable taking and managing it. It's important to understand the products you're investing in. Ask questions, work with your financial advisor to ensure the level of risk in your portfolio is appropriate for you.
Knowing pays. Invesco Trimark can provide you with the information you need at knowingpays.ca.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Foodland Ontario, reminding you to look for fresh Ontario lamb in certain grocery stores and butcher shops.
Well, we don't upset any of our viewers who are watching the lottery number, so we have the early bird number for you because we skipped it by mistake, I'll add. 7, 17, 27, 43. Those are your early bird numbers. Michelle has some numbers of her own to tell us about in the weather forecast, Michelle.
I do, and I've got some numbers as well for Art Walk. If you want to add some art, maybe you can head on down to St. Clair tomorrow between Bathurst and Oakwood. That's what people were doing today. It's the 6th annual Art Walk. It features 130 artists. There's musicians, there's poets, and over 30 local businesses are also involved. Some fantastic pieces. So if you're looking to pick up some art for your home or your office, head on down to St. Clair between Bathurst and Oakwood. It does take place yet again tomorrow. You'll need your umbrella perhaps in the morning. There's a 40% chance of some light showers, but we could be seeing the sunshine in the afternoon. Right now I want to show you the satellite and radar. We still have a few passing showers. The bulk of the energy, though, as you can see, is situated in Pennsylvania as well as upstate New York. As we take it closer to home, though, yes, we are still seeing a few showers at this hour. Thanks to warmer air pushing in, though, there is going to be the chance for some foggy skies throughout the evening, overnight, and tomorrow morning. So you might be encountering some fog, some reduced visibility. The big story, though, comes on Monday. We're looking at some steady rains arriving for the morning, colder air flushing in behind this front, and some windy conditions as we start next week. Now, these winds can be sustained upwards of 45 kilometers per hour, gusting 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. So on Monday, we're going to deal with a much colder air mass, a windy day, a rainy day, a raw day. And on Tuesday, we're still going to be unsettled with some rain showers as well as some strong winds as an upper level trough remains. For now, though, this is a closer look at our forecast across southern Ontario. Tomorrow morning, we could still see a few showers, some drizzle, maybe even some fog thanks to that warmer air pushing in. But by the afternoon, yes, there is the chance we could be looking at some sunshine across southern Ontario. So that's some good news. This is the 7-day forecast. Monday is going to be a mess. It's going to be rainy and extremely windy. Temperatures will continue to plummet, and the winds don't look to ease until about the middle part of next week. So keep in mind tonight there's showers, and there's going to be the risk for fog just with some of that warmer. So there might be some reduced visibility tonight and tomorrow morning, especially near the lakeshore.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Thanks,
no
Michelle.
problem.
In sports, it's always nice when the Leafs square off against Detroit. Even in preseason, it's exciting.
And there was some excitement there for another reason. Tell you all about it now.
All right.
Good evening. Second last preseason game. They play for points beginning Thursday at home against the Canadiens. Red Wings in town and under pressure. Nicholas Hagman rings it off the post behind Chris Osgood. Meanwhile, at the other end, Vesa Toskala gives up a soft one to Brad Stewart, 1-0 after one period. Jonas Gustafsson playing the final 2 periods of this one under the watchful eye of goaltending coach Francois Allaire. Leafs tied the game on the power play. Carl Gunnarsson, who is likely ticketed for the Marlies. Alexei Ponikarovsky is a bloody mess in the second period, and here's the reason why. Red Wings guilty of being careless with the stick. No penalty was called. However, he did return for the third period, which is good news. Two-thirds of the frat pack combined on a power play goal. Tyler Bozak setting up Victor Stahlberg for the 5th of the preseason. Gustafsson made himself the leading candidate for mayor with this performance in front of the home folks. He stopped 15 shots over 40 minutes. 2-1 is the final.
It was awesome. It was so fun to play today, and of course the guys helped me a lot. That's why I could play well, and then when the chances comes, I have to step up sometimes, and that was good. I've just been here a couple of weeks now and haven't played so much at this level, so of course it's good for me to get some shots and to get used to all the angles and all the traffic.
We thought he was the best goalie not playing in the NHL, and you know, but he's had 3 periods and he's looked pretty good, but we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves either.
This afternoon, Leafs President and General Manager Brian Burke at a downtown meet and greet with Leafs Nation, the 90-minute session featuring autographs and answering questions live online, including Twitter and Facebook. Burke and staff will finalize the roster before heading to Huntsville for a couple of days of team building. Among the questions asked, when will the Stanley Cup drought end?
The other night at a gathering like this, a guy asked me, he said I was 11 years old when the Cup was the last one here. Right. And he said, do you think I'll see another one before I die? I said, well, it depends on how long you're planning on living. All I can promise you is the problem here is, in Toronto, is that people think 1967, 1967, 1967. I haven't even been here 12 months. All I can promise you is we intend to bring it here as quick as humanly possible. And I think we've taken some pretty important steps toward that goal. But I understand the impatience. We have the best hockey fans in the world, and we haven't rewarded them enough.
The worst result from a pair of 3 and 8 teams would be a tie. Argonauts and Bombers trying to escape the East Cellar. Alexis Cerna and Justin Medlock traded field goals for most of the first half until Michael Bishop called a screen pass to Fred Reed, and he picks his way through the Argonaut defense into the end zone. Winnipeg's on top 17-9 at the break. We move from there to the third quarter. Bombers in the end zone again. This time it's Michael Bishop to Adarius Bowman to lead 24-9. It is 29-9 in the fourth quarter. We'll update tomorrow at 6 o'clock. In Edmonton, a record crowd of 62,517 on hand for the battle of second place in the West between the Eskimos and Rough Riders. Trailing 10-5 late in the second, Saskatchewan gets a break when Bradley Robinson coughs it up. Renault Williams recovers. Saskatchewan leads at the break 12-7. The teams traded field goals in the third, but less than a minute into the fourth, Archie Whitlock breaks away on a 55-yard sprint. Edmonton goes up 20-15. Saskatchewan rallies by driving 65 yards in seventh place. Stephen Giles plunging the final yard. They added a 2-point conversion, and Saskatchewan disappoints the record crowd, winning 23-10. Homecoming at the University of Guelph with Western Mustangs visiting. The teams combined for 46 points in the first half. Mustangs have won 12 of the last 13 meetings. Answering quickly is Mike Falls scores with a scoring pass to Jarrett McCrory. That caps an 11-play, 56-yard drive. Then Falls sets an OUA record with his 638th completion to Jesse Bellamy in the second half to give Western a 31-22 lead. Justin Dunk scored 3 touchdowns for Guelph and passed for another, giving the Griffins a 36-31 lead. But once again, Western rallies for the 6th lead change of the game. Falls calling his own number at the goal line. Then Guelph kicks a field goal to take a 39-38 lead, and that's when Falls marches the Mustangs another 66 yards on his way to the game-winning score. And with 5 seconds remaining, Darrell Wheeler is good from 16 yards out. The number 2 ranked Mustangs win a thriller 41-39. They're 4-0. One of the game, Queens walloped York 67-0. Julian de Guzman and Toronto FC in Chicago. The FC needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. 6th minute, the Chicago defense has a brain cramp. Dwayne De Rosario goes in alone and finishes with his team leading 11th goal. And speaking of brain cramps, FC defender Nick Garcia has one of his own in the 14th minute as he chests the ball into his own goal. 1-1 at the half. FC opens the second half with Ali Gerba with a terrific through ball for De Rosario, who sends it to Barrett for the finish, and they're up 2-1. But as I mentioned, they can't defend, and it's costly. Brian McBride is unmarked, and he nods in the easy one. FC's playoff hopes taking a major hit. It is 2-2 is your final. Well, Canadians picked up 2 medals at the World Cup short track speed skating event in Seoul. Charles Hamlin won the 500 meters with Kalina Robert, 3rd in the women's race. Still to come, the Blue Jays are winding down while others are getting ready for a run to the World Series. Go away.